So I just got some of the best news ever, and that is that Mona Awad has a new book coming out in September 23rd, and it is a follow-up to Bunny. And so I figured in honor of that, I would make a video just dedicated to talking about new releases that are coming out this year that I am really looking forward to, and then also maybe sprinkle in a few that have recently come out and I've already read, and I think you should read them too because they were really good and they deserve a lot of love. But first things first, the Bunny follow-up. So this one is going to be called We Love You, Bunny. The second I saw that, I'm like, hold up. I'm sorry, what? And then I thought maybe it was just like a special edition of Bunny that was coming out, but no, this is not a drill. We are actually getting a new Bunny. And I'm so flippin' excited. Have I read All's Well or Rouge yet? No, absolutely not. I'm super behind on my TBR and the bajillion books that I own, but I need this one. I cannot wait. Now, I did not read the synopsis of this because I really want to go into it blind. I have no idea how she's going to follow up after the ending in Bunny, and if you know, you know, and if you haven't, read that book. Please. I mean, I should be careful saying read that book because you either love it or you hate it. You get it or you don't. I don't know. It's very fever dream-esque and crazy and wild and confusing, but you just kind of have to go with it and accept things for what they are, and eventually it will make sense that it doesn't make sense. But naturally, the cover is beautiful. I found with my edition of Bunny anyways, it is very simple. I still love the original cover, but this one is, the flowers as the bunny ears. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So another book that we're getting that I'm super excited about comes out May 27th, and that is a new Stephen King called Never Flinch. This one seems like it's going to be kind of similar to like Billy Summers vibes, where it's about a murderer, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be as heavy on the horror or as heavy on the horror as his usually tend to be. And I think it's supposed to be a dual perspective, one part of it being told by the detective that's trying to solve a murder, and then another side of it being told by the killer, which is always a really fun time, especially when you're seeing kind of both of them figure each other out and think that they're smarter than each other when you, the reader, have more information than either of those parties do. Super fun time for reads like that, so I can't wait for that one. Then this technically is not a new release, but it is a new edition, and that is this absolutely stunning deluxe edition of Twilight that is coming out. I have Twilight right over here. Do I need another edition of Twilight? No, but also yes. I mean, it's beautiful and I love beautiful books. Can I justify spending $50 on this? We'll see. I don't know. Book prices in Canada, man, I tell you, it's just wild, but it's definitely one that I might try to get when it's on sale or something like that. Then on October 21st, we are getting another Olivia Blake novel as well. It is called Girl Dinner. So this one follows like a sorority house and sorority sisters and kind of the lengths they will go to for the sorority. I always love a good kind of culty vibe, and that is definitely what this is giving. Kind of culty meets like potentially dark academia. I was so excited to see that this one was coming out, and hopefully that gives me enough time to kind of catch up on all of the Olivia Blake that I have yet to read. Next is one that's coming out April 29th, so super soon. I feel like when I post this video it'll be like in a couple of days from now, but I'm gonna have to read this because it's too long for me to remember. It's called Girl on Girl: How Pop Culture Turned a Generation of Women Against Themselves by Sophie Gilbert. This is supposed to be a nonfiction piece on how pop culture has kind of ruined the feminist movement and turned girls against each other, and also how like materialism is really like affecting us as well. I love books like this, so I cannot wait to read it, and I'm really hoping that it's going to come out as an audiobook as well. That is something I would love to borrow from my library and listen to. I find nonfiction is like the best through audiobooks. And another book that is nonfiction that I'm hoping gets an audiobook is Margaret Atwood's memoir that's coming out called Book of Lives. So this one is supposed to be coming out November 4th, and I just finished The Handmaid's Tale like last month, I think, and it was so good. So now I've read The Handmaid's Tale, and I also read the poetry collection called Dearly by Margaret Atwood, and I love her writing style so much. There's still so many things by her that I need to get to, but it would be really interesting to read a memoir from her perspective and kind of see maybe just how she comes up with some of this stuff and how she learned how to write so lyrically and beautifully. I think this memoir is supposed to be like a mammoth too. I'm pretty sure it's like between 600 and 700 pages, which that's chunky for a memoir, so you know she's had a very interesting life if she can go on for like that long. And last but not least, for the upcoming releases, I had to throw in a manga. So this one is Moan by Junji Ito, and it is coming out October 7th, 2025, which is perfect because it's just before Halloween, so that's like the prime time to read a Junji Ito horror. Now, I don't know how to describe this one because it's a very vague kind of synopsis, but I will just tell you a little tiny snippet of the synopsis, and if it intrigues you, I highly recommend looking into it because the cover itself is giving me the ick, so I'm sure it's going to be good. But it says, a dark evil lurks in the unreachable depths of a pipe, groaning out moans that echo through the house of a germaphobe mother and her daughters. Then, flowers blooming in the shape of eyeballs are only the beginning of the strange phenomena surrounding a mysterious transfer student. If that's only the beginning, you just know that that book is going to be nasty. Can't wait. I'm sure it'll be 5 stars. Now to quickly go through a few new releases that I have read that I think you should also read. So to start off is King of the Forgotten Darkness by Eric Goodwin. It is such a good fantasy. If you're like me and you find some fantasies, especially ones with like new worlds, kind of daunting and maybe like the writing style or the language kind of intimidates you, this one is not like that at all. It was so easy to read. It was a lot of fun. Like, I was instantly sucked into the world, and it was better than anything I could have anticipated, honestly. Originally, I had rated this one 4 stars because I felt like I couldn't give it 5 stars because it is slightly shorter than I would have liked it to be. My main complaint was that maybe some of the characters weren't as fleshed out as they could have been, but since then, a lot of time has passed, and honestly, I just randomly think about this book sometimes and hope that someday there is going to be sequels because I need them. So I changed my rating to 5 stars. Yes, you can change your rating. You can change your opinion on anything. So that's what I went ahead and did. I really do prefer rating off of vibes, and this one was for sure a 5-star vibe. And if you like fantasies where you're plunged into a new fantastical, magical kind of world, you should really read this. Next is Deadstream by Mara Ramasco Moore. This is one that I read like last October, and it just came out I think April 1st, and it is a YA horror, like a supernatural, paranormal kind of horror, but it didn't make me lose interest, which oftentimes YA does. This one kept me enthralled and engaged and still kind of spooked me a bit a few times, even though it is just YA. The author did a really good job with descriptions of like settings and then also just like the vibe. I don't know, she did a really good job of giving that feeling like someone's behind you. I will say I don't know that this book would be for everyone. If you're not really into like gaming or streaming or anything like that, you just might not enjoy it because some of the terminology that is used and then also like descriptions and stuff. But if you are into that stuff, I highly recommend this because like there's even snippets in the book where it's like text from like streaming chats and stuff like that, and they also kind of put in like little Easter eggs. I think Minecraft is kind of mentioned without being mentioned, if that makes sense. Super fun horror read, and it's definitely one that I think I will read again in the future. Next, I'm sure you've seen this absolutely everywhere but right side up normally, and that is Sunrise on the Reaping. I couldn't make this video without talking about it, just briefly. So it was 5 stars. If you like the Hunger Games, you gotta read this, and I cannot wait until the movie comes out. I feel like Woody Harrelson could be in it. That's all I'm gonna say. It's definitely possible, and I'm hoping that it happens. And then lastly is Scythe and Sparrow. This is the 3rd book of the Ruinous Love trilogy, so it's Butcher and Blackbird and Leather and Lark before this one. And this was the perfect ending to this trilogy. I loved the characters so much. I think the first one is still my favorite, but I did end up rating this one 4 stars. And if you are into dark romance, this is a must. Please read this. But I think that is going to do it for me for now. I love like looking into like upcoming releases and getting super excited about it, even though I have no business buying new books because like you can't see it, but there is a huge like pile of books on the floor next to me that I have never even opened. So do I need any of these books I just talked about? No, not really, but I'm probably going to buy them anyway. But with that, I'm gonna leave this video here. I hope you have a great rest of your week and happy reading.